Hey, everybody, it's Saturday when we're taping this. How you doing? I'm Skip Elliott, and that, one of these ways, is Hunter Lisle from the Arthur Murray Dance Studio. It's our Dancing with the Stars update, season 29, week 8. How are you,
Wow.
Hunter?
Can you imagine? It's great to be on here with you. It's a nice Saturday afternoon, and here we are. And thought we'd be a little more casual, a little more fun. And it's one of those craziest weeks we've ever had. And Dancing with the Stars is no exception. But what a cool week, and some crazy things, of course, happened.
Well, it started out, Jeannie Mai will not compete due to health concerns. She was diagnosed with epiglottis, an inflammatory condition of the throat that can cause swelling to the lungs. She's been hospitalized. I think she came out of surgery during the show,
Yeah.
and she's okay, but she won't be back on the show.
No, she had a pretty strong throat abscess that started it all. And when that happened, it just kept getting worse. And it developed into, like I said, other things. And, she wasn't, but I think she made the right choice. I mean, it would have been fun for her to go the distance, but she's out. So we're down to just 7 after all this is all said and done in week
It was,
8.
it was supposed to be a double elimination, and that's not going to happen. And two
Nope.
dances, they did 2 dances. We'll talk about the second dance in a little while. But
Yeah, they canceled the double elimination because of that. So that was a little bit crazy, actually. But, one of those things that happens sometimes.
all right, Caitlin Briscoe and Artem did a jive, and Carrie Ann gave it an 8. Derek gave it a 9, and Bruno gave it an 8 for a 25. I think it was a good improvement from last week's dance. Remember, she kind of slipped off the end of the earth last
She
week.
did literally.
Rebounded well, though.
Yeah, I think so. Her rebound was great. She was really in sync with Artem this time. You could see them moving together. And with a jive, if the kicks are off and you got the flicks and the kicks, and if they're not moving together, it's very obvious. And this time they really nailed it. I mean, I was writing down notes as we're going along, and I'm like, they really nailed that. So they got a 25. I think he probably went a 27 because that's a hard thing to do. So that was pretty cool for week 8, I thought.
Neve and Jenna did a Viennese waltz. And you know how partial I am to Viennese waltz. I thought it was a wonderful waltz. Great syncopated moves. Bruno said it was oozing charm and charisma. Carrie Ann said so much elegance. They got a 27 out of that one.
They did. It was flowing, and you do like that dance. One of these years, we're gonna have to get you on the show and
I'm not dancing with you, Hunter.
I think I'll find someone.
You're a
else
hard lead. I'm telling you, you're a hard lead.
And here we go. So I'll try to I'll try to find you a better partner than me. Maybe we'll see what happens. But that'd be fun for you to do. But they did a great job. It was a few stumbles along the way, but very elegant, very flowing. It was nice. Really, again, 27. You can't get better than that. That's been one of your favorites all the way along. You predicted early on in week number 1 that was going to be one of your favorites. So you've been calling that since day 1. I think you're right on track.
I think I was wrong about Justina and Sasha doing that samba for Rita Moreno. And I didn't know Rita was in West Side Story. We all knew that. But Rita is in the show One Day at a Time with Justina. So they have a big connection, but that doesn't matter. I thought it was a wonderful dance, got a 27.
It was a good dance. I mean, the samba rolls were good. She needs to watch they need to watch their feet a little bit. The feet was, they just need more bounce and more movement in their samba, but that's a foot issue. But Rita Morena and Ada, they helped produce years ago. If you remember, there was a show Dancing with it was actually the Ohio Star Ball, and it was championship ballroom dancing on TV on KET back then. And Ada Morena was the producer, and they had back then, Juliet Prowse was the host, and they had some other people along the way. And eventually they had Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie.
Wow.
And we've been on that show a few times back in the day. And there was a time years ago when I was judging, and you would see a short blonde guy. That was me with a clipboard out there one time, many, many years ago. So that was a fun connection when I heard that. I thought that was really cool. But again, I wish their samba had been even stronger, but it was very good. And it did get a 27. And I thought that was pretty good for week number 8 anyway.
Explain what a samba roll is, please.
The samba roll, a lot of times you'll see it in a shadow position where you're dancing with your partner and they're actually, I get to stand up, they're actually side by side with you in a shadow. And as they move, they're curving their body. That's hard to do on a Zoom. And they're curving their body and they're rolling, and you feel it making this roll. And it's a really cool move. You see it both sometimes in a dance position, but most often in shadow. And it's really cool looking. If it's done well, it looks great. But a lot of times people do it, they compress their body as they're doing the move, and it looks very compressed, and then they lose their footwork. So there's a lot of technical things we can talk about with that. But I love that move. It's great to watch. It's in every show samba because it's quintessential for the dance. It really goes along with it.
I don't know if you know or not, but when you stood up,
yeah,
the face with the smiley face was on your face.
Wonder if I could do that again. Let's see.
There you go the other way. That's it right there.
There we go. And now I'm smiling, and if I get it just right, okay, now that's me today. This is the smiley face. There we go. And that's me today on Zoom. So this is the Hunter look for Saturday. I did not know that, actually.
All right, back to the dances. Nelly came out with a rumba with Daniela, and I think this may be the last week for him.
Yeah. You got to root for them. I mean, they've had a journey that's been crazy, and they've improved every week. I wrote down notes on that, and you just got you got to root for them. But they didn't do it. They really didn't. They tried to step it up, but it just wasn't there for week number 8. And with the 21, I can see them going completely off at this point, at that point. But it's just, I don't know, it's what it is. So it's one of those.
You could tell the dance came from Nelly's heart, though.
You could. That's what I mean. You can't not root for them. I mean, it was a really positive movement, positive story. So you feel bad for them, but the quality of the technical side with the emotional side didn't jive this time.
Chriselle and Gleb were next with another Viennese waltz. They scored a 24 on this one. Good drama, very sexy dance. It was graceful and elegant, but Carrie Ann said, watch the arms and the neck. Derek said they're improving each week, which means they're not that great yet.
Yep.
And watch the transitions. Bruno said, keep the same level all dance. And you could tell they go up and down a little bit.
You read my mind. It's about stamina and sustainability. And when you watch that dance in a true competition, again, you're at the end of the competition, international standard, and a lot of times the judges were looking for energy and sustainability because you've danced all these other dances and you got to still be the same at the end as you were at the beginning. And that followed this one pretty clearly. So I think that was one of the biggest criticism, and you could see it. And that's hard to do. It's still not easy, but it definitely showed, this week.
It's a football thing. You have to play in the fourth quarter like it's the first quarter.
You do. And if you lose that energy, the judges see it, the audience sees it. And that's one of the, that's what separates sometimes the champions for the people that are getting close to that. And not always technical. It's always, sometimes it's energy. And it's just being able to maintain that and kind of flip the switch and keep it going.
It's our Dancing with the Stars update. He's Hunter Lisle from the Arthur Murray Dance Studio. I'm scratching my head because I got a little itch up front here. And back into the show.
I'm smiley today, apparently, because if I sound like this, you do. It's a great Saturday afternoon, and it's always a joy to do this with you, as always.
Now, I love Sky and what she's done this year, but a couple of weeks back, she had a really, really bad week, and she has not recovered yet.
No.
Sky and Alan did a salsa. It was an exciting dance. The landings for the lifts didn't hit all the time.
No, they tried to mask the technical aspect of the dance, with the lifts this time. But again, it didn't work. And, they didn't forget any steps this time, which was cool, but they didn't match, the technical didn't cover, what they were trying to do. And you could see it. I hope that they don't keep leaning on that trick because, it won't work long term. It's fun for a while, but it's a little bit aggressive this time, I thought. And I liked them as performers. I really thought, and they still may go the distance. I've said that since I think day 1 or 2, but it's like, I like them a lot. So 25 is kind of middle of the road.
We were pulling for them. I think they're still in it. But next guy, I've got to say I'm really proud of. Johnny Weir and Britt did that foxtrot. And another strong dance. I'm telling you, we're underestimating this dude.
Yeah, we are. It was a perfect choreography for him. It was absolutely fantastic. It was unique enough. It was consistent enough. It had great elegance, great flow. It had some great rise and fall for the dance. So it had the technical side of it was right on with the choreography side. It got a little bit erratic along the time, but I think they intended that. But you could see it was a little bit jarring, but still it was very nice. I think it was fantastic. The frame, the arms were really good throughout the whole thing. I thought that was great. Again, the rise and fall was good. I liked it. I thought it was good. 27. And you've been saying that they're a contender all along too.
I just think that the ice experience he has and dancing like he has on the ice, it translates very well to the ballroom.
It always does. We've had the pleasure over the years of teaching some ice dancers, and some even I really got the pleasure of teaching some Olympic ice dancers along the way. And it was always really fun many years ago because what they do on that ice rink really does translate to the ballroom floor. It's not that different if they incorporate the musicality of it. It's just they're on ice. So in a weird way, it's easier because it's safer.
I think a big difference between ballroom dancing and ice dancing, the benefit of being an ice dancer is you have to walk softly as you go along. Yes. Because you're going to slip if you don't.
You are. That's exactly right. There's a lot more risk involved with that one. So yeah, I thought they did well, and the skills really do translate to that. So it was fun to watch. 25 though, still middle of the road. Probably could have been a little higher, maybe.
No, Johnny got a 27. Stop it.
I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one, guys. That's what happens when I write my notes. I write it down, and then I put my notes here, and then there you go. So nothing like a little OCD on a Saturday morning to just mess with everything. So.
All right, AJ McLean and Cheryl wrapped it up with a rumba that got a 24. Not enough rumba to the rumba, they were saying.
No, it was a lot. It was just a lot of choreography. It wasn't enough dancing. I think if Lynn would have given it a probably 20. So I'll put it that way. If we were seeing that kind of a judging situation, but it was fun. It was a great story, but it wasn't not a lot of the dance itself. And at this point in week 8, as we've talked about before, it's not just about the character, the dancer, about the story. You've got to have everything. And the further you go in the season, you start to see that kind of balance shift, and they didn't shift it far enough to one side.
That's my dog you're hearing occasionally in the background.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, if you see the dog, I like to see the dog going across the screen. We talked about that. If I'm drinking my water, it comes and it goes.
My hand just goes away from time to time.
There's nothing like doing a Zoom on a Saturday morning and drinking water. Someone will say, "What's in that red cup?" And unfortunately for me, it's just water. So there you go. But it's like, what is he drinking in that red cup? And it disappears again.
After the first round, it was Neve and Jenna, Justin and Sasha, and Johnny and Britt tied at 27 each for first place. In fourth was Caitlin and Arden, and Sky and Alan with 25. Sixth place went to Chriselle and Gleb and AJ and Cheryl, and seventh was Nellie and Daniela. Round 2, not a very pleasant experience for me. I don't think that was a good way to do a second dance, to be honest.
No, I thought the relay round, I wasn't fond of it. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of that. I think even the first relay round, it began with a good, like a cha-cha with Jenna, for example, and it was solid, but then it kind of went in a different direction. And I was like, it's awkward, and it didn't really go what I don't know. I'm just not really fond of that part of it. I think they could have left that out. That was a good sound. What was that?
That's my wife.
I love it.
Hold on, let me see if I can get her on the phone here. Hold on. Are you there? What do you want?
Hey there.
I just wondered, by Blue Door.
Yeah.
Barbecue, and do you want any Blue Door?
Yeah, you can get some brisket. That would be good.
And you're getting some airtime here. How are you over there?
You hear Hunter?
Can you hear me? This is Hunter from Arthur Murray Dance Studio, live with you on Zoom.
You're on our conversation. I told you I'd get you on the air somehow.
You're live on Candid Camp.
My goodness. Okay, so Blue Door is the best brisket in town beside our son Aaron. So I will stop and I will get us some brisket.
Can you get me some too? Can you get me some also?
Yeah,
Hunter wants some brisket.
No worries.
We're gonna have brisket together when this is all done. So I said when this whole crazy world gets done and we're all congregating back together and having fun more and more, we'll all have some brisket and who knows what else. It'll be kind of fun. Your wife is a very sweet person.
So the first group was Cha-Cha Relay with Neve, Chriselle, and Nellie. Neve won that by 1 point.
1 point.
And the second was the Vietnamese Waltz Relay. Derek was the judge for that one. Justina was Proper and Beautiful. Johnny was Frame was Perfection. And this is one that should have had 3, but Jeannie was out.
They were. It should have been a tie. And Justina was more simplistic, but better suited for this. And again, I kind of think this evening probably could have been a tie for points, but it's what it was. So that one was a little unusual to watch just because, if someone leaves it, it's a whole different format.
Yeah, it's a two-person dance. They should have been
right,
at the same time. Third one was the Samba Relay. Bruno was judging. AJ was rhythmical and bounce going. I don't know what the heck that meant for me.
That's that same samba bounce. Again, you're looking for, think of it as a vertical expression of a horizontal dance. No, you're actually, sorry, just kidding. We can say this on Zoom. So when you're doing the bounce, you're trying to move and you're trying to move through that movement. And as you do the samba rhythm, it's a 3/4 quarter hole and you're moving through it. You want to see the flowing movement or forward and back and more horizontally as you move. And again, they didn't show as much as I thought, but that may have been thrown off a little bit because of the relay part of this.
Yeah, it could have been, but AJ got 3, Caitlin got 3, and Sky got 2.
Yep.
Then we're on to the second round scores. The bottom 2 was Chriselle and Gleb.
Correct.
And Sky and Alan. And I don't know why Nellie and Daniela weren't in there except for probably heartstrings on the dance.
I think that was it. I think it was more about the story for that one, because when I looked, I was like writing down all my scores, and it's like, you see the top and you see the bottom, and I think it was more for that, about the emotional pull and benefit, and some of that's important because again, dancing tells a story, and some of these people, they really go out on a limb to be on the show, so you got to give them courage and give them props for getting out there even, and we've seen that many times. Judging anything, it's about getting on. We always say there's 2 things when you're judging that are important. You got to find the floor and you got to get on it, and that's like, and again, doing that, it gives you courage, and you got to get out there and do it. So I always give a lot of kudos to people that actually do it. So that may be why that was there.
Sounds like my credo for when I was drinking.
Well, there is that.
And get on it.
That's right. That does give you a little courage. You know, it might cause you to fall down or, tip off the floor later on, but it gives you a little courage along the way, But it's nice to be on here with the world famous Skip Elliott on this side. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. So that's kind of fun too. Living in Bora Bora on a nice Saturday afternoon.
There you go. And Chriselle and Gleb got eliminated. So next week, it's Idols week, isn't it?
It is. That's a fun week, actually. That'll be exciting to watch. And we're in week number 9. And barring any other catastrophes with health, hopefully they'll all be on there. It'll be kind of a fun week to watch what happens.
Do you think they're going to have another double elimination because we missed this one?
I wonder. They've talked about it. I haven't. There's speculation. I haven't seen it actually, but I'd say we'll hear that by this weekend or Monday, actually, probably. But I suspect they're going to have to get to the final. To get to it in a meaningful way. I think they're going to have to do something because there's quite a few people still on there. So we're getting in the home stretch here. So I think we will see something. And how they're going to structure that is anybody's guess. There's a rumor of another injury. I can't say it yet, but we'll see what happens. And that's just a rumor. I'll throw that out there for all the social media, but we'll see. Like I said, that's just a slight rumor, but we'll see how that plays out if it comes online and we see it or we don't. So.
Well, more to look at on Monday when we get back into the TV show. It's Dancing with the Stars. This is week 8. Next week, week 9. Now, Hunter, if someone wants to learn how to dance, how can they do that?
It's fun to do this. I saw a memory pop up the other day from 10 years ago and another one from 12 years ago when you and I were doing this. And, if you're wanting to learn to dance and you've been putting it off for 10 years or even 1 year, and you're thinking, I'm scared to walk in that door, give it a try. Call now, 859-278-7711. You're going to get at least 2 free lessons to give it a shot and give it a chance. And it's a lot of fun. I had somebody actually last night come in and they said they saw us on this Zoom. And they said, if you guys can do the craziness you're doing, it gave us courage to try it out. So I thought that was pretty cool. But give it a try. Call now, 278-7711. It's Arthur Murray Dance Studio in Lexington here. We've been here 20 years teaching Kentucky how to dance. And we make it easy. We make it fun. Our staff are the best in the world, and they will make it easy for you. So if you're single, you don't need a partner. If you're a couple, give it a try together. What have you got to lose? Might as well have some fun this year and come in and learn to dance for all those events that are going to come back next year. You want to be ready. So call now one more time, 278-7711, or go to dancingiseasy.com and learn to dance and have some fun. We'll be there. I'm the crazy guy in the blonde. I need to be more blonde now, but I'm crazy anyway. So I'll be there to help you. We'll be there to help you enjoy it and have a great time.
And I rarely show up, so I'm all out of the way all the time.
One of these days, we're going to do a dance thing with all of us in person together in there. And I'll get you and your wife in there, and we'll have a great time because we've been doing this for a long time. You're a good friend and a great radio Zoom broadcaster. So fantastic.
Another notch in my belt. Zoom broadcaster. There you go.
Absolutely.
Right, 278-7711, the number for you to call for Arthur Murray Dance Studio. Get those smiles off your face. No, off your screen, I guess. And we'll talk to you next week.
I will see you there, and I'm going to keep on smiling.